Grace Monroe is a pseudonym for two female authors, Maria Thompson and Linda Watson Brown. Neither authors who I've ever heard of before, and make me wish I'd never hear them ever again. Nor do I ever want to actually read a Grace Monroe book ever again. Okay, so I got to about page 200, which is really not that hard. It's quite a small book. Got to about page 200 and I was like, so what's the story? Like, legit, what's the story? The synopsis reads as if it's a lawyer about to be dragged through the mud and have her reputation at stake, right? That's what I'm reading here. But I got to page 200 and I was like, I don't know what I'm reading. I'm really confused. And then I finished the book and I was like, so what's the story? Okay, so my issue with this story is, one, there is too many character names in this. Okay, I was like, I'm sorry, how many characters do we need in 2 sentences? I was so lost and I forgot who our main character was. Our main character is named Brody. Brody, I assume, is a unisex name. This story is also told in first person. As I've admitted before, first person stories aren't my thing. So why the hell do I keep reading them? Who knows? I get sucked in by the cover art. Anyway, so I assume Brody is a unisex name. This book doesn't give you a clear indication on whether Brody is a man or woman. Now, does that matter to me? As a reader, it does. I would like to know the pronouns of the character. Why? Because 1, I can correctly read them in my head. 2, when I do my opinions, I can correctly give them the right pronouns that they prefer to go by. And 3, I want to know what pronouns this character is going by so I can envision a clear picture and imagine a scenario that would be comfortable throughout this story. Okay? Now, the thing is, Brody read like a man. There'd be woman objectification. Brody would be objectifying other women, or fat-shaming other women, which is common traits in most men. And I know that most females do it too. But then in the next scene, it would be ogling men, which, you know, is fine. Everybody does that. But then it would, like, it just made no sense because it would read as a man. The only time Brody read was a female is when people referred to Brody as a female. But it was very rare because everyone would refer to Brody as Brody. So I was like, oh. So, pronouns out the window. Cool. Though they did like to make a little butt of a joke of a transsexual. And yes, that word is in the book. So hopefully I'm not offending anyone because transsexual is actually a sentence used in this book. And they decided to poke a jab at how the transsexual had male body parts and had to get them cut off. Yeah, I mean, I'm cisgendered, so I probably have no right criticizing that sentence, but that made me feel icky. Now, I got confused. Not only did I get confused about what the storyline is, I also got confused on Brody's family. Why? Because one minute she would say, oh, my mum's dead. And then the next minute, her mum's alive. But then they were like, hold on, this is my birth mom. And I was like, okay, so then who's the mum that died? Is that your adoptive mom? No, your birth mom is what? I'm confused. And then it kept hinting that her birth mom was some, like, dealer or blackmailer. And I was like, so for the whole book, you tried to convince me that your mom was a victim of rape and sex trafficking. And now you're trying to convince me that your mom is a dealer in dark whatever. Okay, I'm confused. I don't know what's happening here. And then she liked to bring up that her granddad's a lawyer. And the only reason she's a lawyer is because of her granddad. Okay, whatever. I get it. Keep it in the family. Sometimes it works. But, like, I got so confused. And then 1 minute should have, like, a nice little love triangle lust going on, which sometimes works. But I didn't really understand how that point was supposed to happen with this story. I got so lost. And then when the reveal of who the actual bad guy is and who's been ruining Brody's life, I was like, I'm sorry, since when did all fingers point to this person? This person came out of nowhere and was literally a character who spoke no less than 5 sentences. And now you want me believing that this character who barely had a point in this book is somehow the criminal mastermind? What the hell is going on? I am so confused. I legit threw the book halfway across the train because I hated the ending. Yeah, that was an interesting walk of shame to go get that book. Now, as a woman, and I understand that people do this, and I'm not genderifying this, I'm saying people in general, but can we no longer have fat shaming in books? Particularly self-fat shaming? Like, I don't really need to read that a character needs to lose 50 kilos to make themselves feel better. I don't really need to read that maybe if the character was a little more skinnier, she might be able to have boys lining around the block. I don't need to care that maybe eating a nibble of a muffin is going to add to their ever-expanding waistline. Boo-hoo, shove your fat shaming so far up the delete button that I hope it disappears. Can we please no longer fat shame in books? Yes, I have an opinion on that. I don't like it. I only say that purely because as a person who has struggled with food for the majority of my life, I don't like reading fat shaming. I will over it. So this was my worst book of 2023. I am never going to read a Grace Monroe book. I am never ever going to read a Linda Watson Brown book, nor a Maria Thompson book, because nothing about this encouraged me to go find their books. This looks, yes, cool. This enticed me. Read the back. Yes, it entices me. But the asylum patient is literally only in 2 pages and barely has anything to do with the whole goddamn plot. So, and the mutilated body, guess what? Little hint, the mutilated body is a little transsexual joke that's going on halfway through the story. Yeah, so there's rape, there's bad cops, there's transsexual jokes, there's confusion over what the hell's going on with this book, and I hate it. It's trash. I regret reading it. I've had nothing but bad luck with reading books so far in 2023, and I'm gonna go cry in a corner. Goodbye, stupid book.